crazy as it is, 7 years into the Switch's life, Nintendo is putting out a new accessory. It is a charging stand.
Yep.
Of course, you don't have to use a stand. You can lay it down, but it's a device that lets you charge Joy-Con.
Yeah. So the Switch is a little long in the tooth, and we all know it's on its way out. But is there a reason that Nintendo couldn't just make a peripheral for their device, in the final year of its existence? Like, everybody's all like, this is way too late.
Well, so this has led a lot of people to speculate that this is not because of the Switch, but because of the Switch 2. Nintendo is putting out a successor to the Nintendo Switch. Sorry, Daniel. They're putting out a way so that you can charge your Joy-Con, because the rumor is that whatever is coming next, it will not use the same rail system that is currently on the Switch. So you won't be able to charge your old Joy-Con on whatever comes next.
Yeah.
You have to have an external device to do this. So people are saying that is what this is.
Yeah, and in that logic sounds really good to me. I'm not going to lie to you. The successor to the Nintendo Switch is rumored to have magnets, worked into the rails somehow. And, that makes sense. Maybe old generation Joy-Con don't slot in right. You need some way to charge them. It doesn't really make sense to require people to keep their old Switch in the dock, even if they're not using it. So this kind of makes sense to me. I'm not going to lie. They're releasing it in Japan first, maybe to kind of test the audience a little bit. It doesn't sound unreasonable.
No, it doesn't sound unreasonable. What seems strange to me is there's already a way to charge Joy-Con off of your Switch, which is the charging grip.
Yes, but as we ran into last night live on stream, there are the occasional weird Joy-Con that wouldn't fit in that grip.
Yes.
Last night on stream, I was playing a little Nintendo World Championships, and I was using the NES controller from NSO. And I knew it was going to be dead because I hadn't used it in a long time. And I was going to just plug it in. You can't. You have to charge it via the rails. So I put my Switch in the dock, and I slotted 2 NES controllers on the side, and it looked super silly.
But that's the only way to charge them.
Yeah. But if there was some sort of dock that maybe looked a little less silly, like, I would like that. That sounds cool. And I don't have a charging grip. I never bought one. But if I did, those controllers wouldn't fit anyway.
Yeah. Is it a coincidence that this comes out at the same time as the Nintendo World Championship game that is all about the NES, and people might be using those NES controllers to play the game?
Yeah.
And they may want a way to charge them off of their Switch.
Well, they're definitely marketing the NES controller, heavier than they were for a while. Now this new game is out.
Yes.
And I think they might be. Are they discounted as well?
I don't know.
But anyway, they're for sale, and I've seen them advertised side by side with this game. So maybe so.
I mean, that could just be it. It could just be that. It could have nothing to do with the next system. But maybe they're just going for both things. Right now, this charging stand is only releasing in Japan.
Yeah.
But there's a good chance that it's going to come to the States maybe just a little later. They probably know that more people in Japan have these NES controllers.
Yeah. They probably have those statistics available.
Yeah. And so maybe they're thinking like...
They're also just a Japanese company, and maybe they're just, test it on their home market first.
Totally. But either way, I mean, I think that it's a cool accessory. Is it feel a little random and weird that it's 7 years into the system? Like, why didn't they make this right when the Switch first came out? Because it seems so simple. It's like an idea that makes total sense. Like, it's just a place to charge your Joy-Con. But at the same time, the Switch doesn't really need that, because a place to charge your Joy-Con is just on the Switch.
Right. That's why I've never looked for any other sort of solution.
Because you don't need a solution.
Because I don't need one.
And if you have multiple sets, generally you're going to buy a charging grip, and then that's where you can charge your additional Joy-Con. But you made a good point. Not about just the NES controller, but third-party Joy-Con.
Yeah.
They're not going to fit in the charging grip.
No,
and
but they'll fit on this dock.
They'll fit on the dock.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, you can get all sorts of weird. Now, a lot of those third-party Joy-Con don't charge via the rails. You'll have to plug them in or something separately.
But some do.
Some probably do.
So it just depends on what you're dealing with. But it's probably just a way for them to cover all their bases. And I do think that this probably has at least a little to do with what's coming next in terms of Switch 2 or successor to the Nintendo Switch.
I like the idea of, like, we always said that we wish Nintendo had made a first-party split controller pro. You know, like I would like to live in a world where I have one of these little docks and I have maybe my regular Joy-Con that are like sleek and portable, but of course they're next generation, so they're comfortable as well, right? And then I have my Split Pro like slotted in as well. And when I want to play my Switch like at the house, I like put the Pro controllers on there, you know, for maximum comfort. And when I want to leave and put it in its little case, I put the other ones. Like, I think that would be cool.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's another thing. Maybe on the whatever's coming next, maybe they have that option. Maybe they have a sort of Pro controller that's split in half, and you can do that. And they need a way for you to charge that off of the Switch should you want to.
Yeah. Now, why didn't Nintendo ever make any crazy Joy-Con? Like, why didn't they make their own like split GameCube controllers and things like that? Like, it just seemed so obvious off the rip.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, "This is gonna be sick," you know, and then it's just nothing but third party.
Well, maybe they just knew that third party would fill in the gap and they didn't need to do it.
You didn't think they wanted the money?
Well, I just don't know that. I mean, how big of a market is it beyond like real like enthusiasts? Probably very little of a market.
Maybe
at
not
all.
the GameCube one. Maybe that's not that big. But like a Split Pro, I can see people wanting that.
Yeah.
I mean, the Pro controller is not a niche product, you know. Now you split that some bitch
Nor
in half,
is
maybe
nor
it
is
would
like
be.
a grip for the Switch.
Right.
And that solves both problems if you have one of those. Because you wouldn't need a grip. You
Right. You wouldn't need a grip, and I wish grips weren't necessary. I really do. So I don't know. I love my Switch, and I'm ready for the successor. And if this charging dock is a peek into that reality, then I love this thing.